right, Mr. Valdez. In Cannery Row, we read about how William committed suicide because Mac and the boys didn't accept him because he was a pimp.
Right.
What is your opinion on teenage suicides after being rejected by people for who they are, for like how they react to things and how they are, who they truly are inside?
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion on that?
That's a tough question because I'm aware of the suicide numbers that our nation has increased. It's a very unfortunate statistic. It's just life is a beautiful thing. It's a blessing to be able to live, and it's very unfortunate that as humans who are rational, we treat each other that way. Teenagers especially, they're children. We need to support our children. We need to love our children. We need to protect our children. And my opinions on it, it's just very sad news when you hear something like that. I would suggest reach out to your loved ones, reach out to the people that you care about, that you matter to. When a suicide happens, it's not only the individual being affected, it's their loved ones and the people around them. So I would say surround yourself around loving people that are going to support you. When people put you down, they're naysayers, they're little people, disregard them. You are who you are inside, be proud of it, and as long as you're caring and loving and respectful towards others, that's truly what matters.
Okay. We've also read in Canario, the community is shown by a character named Dora, who makes a quilt for Doc for his birthday, even though they're not relatives or technically friends, but instead part of the community. So, what is your opinion about King City's community? Is the community in Cannery Row the same as in King City?
Comparing Cannery Row to King City, yes, in many ways. We're in Monterey County. Both towns are in Monterey County. Cannery Row has changed throughout the years. Now it's a very touristy place. King City, for majority of it, has stayed the same, where it's a lot of agriculture, small town, very many hardworking families here. The community is very supportive and hands-on with activities. A lot of parent support at the athletic events with our students here at King City High School. The community here, it's split. I mean, there's violence, of course. We're aware of the violence, and so it's a small percentage, though. It's a very small percentage of violent acts that are committed, but majority of the people are here very hardworking, very caring, trusting, and they will come together, kind of like Doc and Dora there for Doc's birthday. And so they can work together. I strongly believe that. It's a small enough town. It's not a big city like LA or San Francisco, where that would be a tougher challenge. But here, as a community, I think we can definitely work together and then have it be a lot like Cannery Row. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then for our third question that we've also read, in Cannery Row, Outcast is displayed by Mac when he accidentally breaks Doc's phonograph, and Doc decides to beat him up, which led to the town talking or hating Mac and the boys and starting rumors about them that are false. What is your opinion on students getting outcasted because they aren't, I guess, in quote, cool? They're not the same?
What is cool? Valdez is super cool, isn't he? Right. Yeah, it may not be cool to you, right? So again, it's just cool is a funny word because everybody has their own style, right? You have your things you enjoy, I have things I enjoy. So when students unfortunately are put down because they're not cool enough, it's like, well, up to whose standards? You know what I mean? There's different standards, there's different interests, and so I would say that the people that are bullies or put other students down, I call them little people because they obviously are not there to act like the bigger person and protect someone or stand up for somebody. So if you feel like you're not cool enough and that makes you feel bad, I would say ignore what they say. Don't let it get to you. At the end of the day, their opinion really doesn't matter. It's not going to affect you. It shouldn't affect you because you're your own individual. And whether they approve of not or not, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Um, the term cool is unfortunately sometimes misused. But at the end of the day, I think as long as you're happy with yourself, and bringing joy and smiles to others, that's truly what matters. Yeah.
Okay. And finally, within the cannery row, we read about drinking, which is also displayed by Doc, who drinks a lot of beer, which he usually drinks, I think, 4 beers a day, and that makes him start to get aggressive to others. Drinking affects not only Doc, but everyone in the story. What is your opinion on teens drinking at an early age? Do you think that the teen-related deaths are all because of alcohol? And do you think drinking at a young age should have a punishment?
I definitely don't approve of students or teenagers drinking underage, being under the influence. There's no need to rush. You're heading that way eventually. You're gonna be 21. You're gonna be able to buy alcohol. When you're able to buy alcohol, you don't overdrink. It's kind of you gotta find that balance. If you enjoy drinking, then don't do it to an excess where you do become violent. It's if you don't need it, then don't. You don't need to drink alcohol. But with your question, if I'm, what do I think about the casualties related to drinking due to teenagers? Unfortunately, the numbers show that they're more prone to just be a little bit more reckless. If they are under the influence behind the wheel, they may not only hurt themselves but others. So I definitely don't approve of any underage drinking. It's just not a smart idea. You can have fun doing other things. Mini golf is fun. You like mini golf?
No, not really.
No, really, it's fun. You should try it. It's easier than real golf, but there's other alternatives. Drinking, that's not as cool as people make it sound. So yeah, those are really good questions. Yeah.
I also have one more question to ask.
Yeah.
What do you think, and what is your opinion, of teachers drinking? Is it safe for the students?
Being under the influence in the classroom, you mean?
Outside of work.
Well, quite frankly, I think outside of work, it's you have your private life, your own personal life. If students, or if teachers enjoy drinking wine or a beer, they are adults. They're legally able to do that. As long as it's not on campus grounds, that's a definitely no-go. Or being under the influence in the classroom. I wouldn't approve of that. But if a teacher decides to go home on a weekend and have a glass of wine with family members and loved ones, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That's a question that I wanted to answer.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.